Okay. All right. All right. Cool. We held an hour class before we'll mastermind. So we'll condense it. And we're just gonna go over like three pillars that we feel like maybe you all will have the most takeaways from. Um, we're getting like plugged into Jeff Glover. Who in the room is familiar with Jeff Glover? Glover Hugh, Glover Agency. Um, it, we've been with Keller Williams since 2015. We've been through like mega camps, family reunions, and recently we started plugging into Glover U, and he holds two events every year. And I tell you, it is super practical and tactical. And what we're going to share today you can take to your business tomorrow. Literally, you can wake up tomorrow morning and be like, "Hey, I want to go ahead and implement this into my daily schedule and routine." Jeff is abundantly clear that in order to build the most abundant business we can is it's listing focused. We would all agree with that, right? The more listings that we can take, the more sellers we can help, the more control we're going to have over our income, and the more control we'll have over the market as a whole. And so we have like three key pillars. There's a lot more, and so we got a few minutes. So if you have a notebook with you, I would start taking some notes. It's going to be a lot of information that Winnie and I will share. By the way, I'm Zach Garvey. This is my wife, Winnie Garvey, and we're at the Demarest office. So one part of the very first time we were there, and this is like the opening keynote, was understanding why it's called Unreal, and it's called Live Unreal, and why is that? And there was a keynote speaker, and basically they broke down an Unreal formula, and the definition of Live Unreal is a life so amazing it's almost unbelievable. A life so amazing that it's almost unbelievable. And Winnie drew out a model that was introduced to us, and at the very bottom, and it's a vertical model. So at the very bottom, it starts with money. The purpose of business is to fund the perfect life. I think we can all agree with that. And it starts with money as well, of what's it going to do for you, your family, your kids, your mom, your dad, your grandparents. What's the value and why you're in this business? And so starting with money and getting clear on how much money you want to earn. The second is transactions. How many transactions, how many sellers do I need to help serve in order to earn the amount of money that I desire and I intend to earn? And getting clear on how much you want to earn and how many people you want to help each year. And then above that, you're going to be moving into your options, and that is your better and your best self. And those questions could show up as, who do you have to become in order to accomplish X? What behaviors? How do you need to show up? What habits do you have to learn? What do you need to increase? What do you need to decrease? And that is the better or best self when it comes to your schedule and to your mindset. And then unreal life is your legacy. Is what do you want to leave? What impact do you want to make? And Jeff's ideology around this formula is starting at the very bottom of money and getting clear of what's important, and then leading all the way up to your unreal life. Anything else you want to add?
Well, the options would be basically your life's vision board. So what trips do you want to go on? What debt do you want to pay off at the end of the year? Experiences, things that you want that the goal, your yearly goal will produce. And then you get to your better best self. This is basically a ceiling, and you want to break through it to get to your better best self in your unreal life. That's what you're aiming for with your goals.
Yeah. Any questions? Okay. So I'm going to lean into this is what I would write down. There's a few things I would write down. Is what seven things that top agents do consistently every single day. 7 things top agents do consistently every single day. And by the way, I know there's vendors in here. This is going to apply to your business as well. Whether you're in plumbing, you're in home inspections, you're in pest termite, it's all applicable. And it's number 1, scattered prospecting to structured time. Scattered prospecting to structured time. So often we could have really good intentions in the day and say, hey, I'm going to go and lead generate, or I'm going to be focused during this time block. And then the phone will ring, a fire will happen, a seller will call you with a concern, a buyer will call you, and issues just show up. And then you look up at the end of the day and it's 5 o'clock and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to get home and cook dinner for my kids, right? And so one of the disciplines is scattered prospecting to structured daily time. And that's been a big one for me lately, of getting really clear on having uninterrupted time every single day. Not all day, yet every single day having a clearly defined time of when I'm going to be prospecting. There's 2 parts of business generation. You have lead generation and you have lead follow-up. And they don't replace another. They're both equally important. And that's the uninterrupted time where you're going to be clear of the lead generation is where I'm generating new business. The lead follow-up is servicing and cultivating current relationship. Does that make sense? They both need to be done each and every single day. Later on, we're going to share a schedule that I think will help align and tie everything together as well. Accountability structure with consequences, financial penalties. That's number 2. Top agents do consistently is they have accountability structure with consequences. So that might be, Patrick, you go into the office and you say, hey, talking to your buddy and say, hey, I want to be here at 8 o'clock. And if you're not here at 8 o'clock and you're not doing what you say you're going to do, then you're going to have a partner that's going to hold you accountable. That might be, look, if you're not here, you owe me breakfast. You're not here, you're going to take me to Panera today. We're going to have lunch together on your tab, right? And so that's a part of accountability. Or it could be is like, look, I want you to meet me at the gym at 7 a.m. and that's going to help me get into the office by 8:15. Whatever your schedule is, it's being accountable to what you say you're going to do. Number 3, price reduction strategy and pricing properly. We can all relate to that right now. If you go on the MLS, the multiple listing service, you're going to see a lot of homes sitting on the market right now. Chances are you didn't price it properly or set proper expectations. Top agents do that consistently. They understand where the market is, and they use price reduction strategies and pricing properly on the very forefront of the appointment, essentially. Does that make sense? Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Define what standard moves you to walk away from the listing. I've never heard this before, and I've been in business for 18 years. And what a litmus test that Jeff uses, and I think it is effective, is you're at a listing appointment, meeting with a seller. At what point do you see that they're so far in outer space that you're just not going to be able to help them achieve their goals? Jeff uses a 10% rule. And I like that. I can get on board with that. That if I'm meeting with a seller and the market really supports $500,000 and they want to be at $600,000, maybe there's middle ground there. Let's price at $550,000. If you can convince the seller that makes sense for them, that 10% would be at $550,000. Does that make sense? And so I think that's a really effective rule. So if you have a seller that might be at 12, 15, even 20% over, you might want to walk away.
Pre-selling them that we may have to cut it because you already know it's probably only going to be selling.
Fact.
Anyway, so you're go ahead and getting that into their mind that, hey, look, we'll start at 550, but we got to have a clear progression.
Yeah, and then using this, it's, hey, experts and case studies show us that if we're going to price it over the 10%, we're going to be so out over the market. And you're not going to sell, or you'll net less money. Exactly. So I think the 10% it's a huge value add to articulate that to a seller of use caution. Use caution to price here. We don't want to be, certainly, I feel like the market's really supporting a 500, 525, yet 550 would be the absolute most.
And that goes back to like your unreal life too. It's like, are you gonna want to waste time, money, resources on a listing that is overpriced?
And not going to sell.
Yeah, that goes back to your better best self on your standards for yourself.
That's right. I tell you, it always goes back to, we were on the phone this morning on the way here with the 4 factors. And I think this is an eternal truth and a timeless truth. It's price, location, condition, and presentation and marketing. And I think that applies to any and all markets that we've been in from 2008 to 2026.
And we when Zach goes on an appointment, he is sharing this, and you have certain metrics that are our expectation. If you want to share those, 2 weeks,
Yeah.
no showings.
Yeah, so we look at 2 weeks, little to no showings, price adjustment. If we're on the market and we have 10 or more showings, no offers, indication the price is not in alignment of the market, price adjustment. And you can even go as far too, and we have done this some, but not as consistent with it, is pre-writing it in your listing agreement. When we get to the point where we have 14 days on market, 1-2 showings, you automatically approve me to adjust the price to X amount.
Yeah, we've started doing a lot of that.
Has it been effective?
Very.
Yeah.
It sets the expectation up front, so there's no awkward phone call.
Right.
Saying,
You don't feel weird asking them to lower the
No.
price.
Because they already agreed to it.
Yeah.
And you're reminding them it's in our contract.
Yeah, you let them know up front, hey, I'm letting you know that, hey, we're gonna list your house here, but realistically, we're probably gonna sell here. And by putting it on paper, it holds them more accountable to actually do it.
In doing it.
You know, because you'll talk till you're blue in the face with some people about, hey, it should be right here, and they'll even shake their head, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
When you go ask for that price reduction,
Well, let's just wait.
let's wait 2 more
Let's do
weeks.
$5,000. You're like, no, let's pull the Band-Aid. Let's go.
I mean, because if you, and this is the thing I've noticed too on price reductions, if you don't do enough to make a difference, you're gonna chase the market all the way to the bottom.
Yeah,
You have to get ahead of that market at some point.
that's right. That's right.
Have to make it a good deal.
Yeah. And I think even more so than ever that the market tells you. Like we're getting so much feedback right now. You're either getting a ton of showings or no showings. You're either getting a ton of showings and offers or talks of offers, or it's stagnant. It's crickets. And I think that's information. And I think that we have to be strong enough and have enough courage to articulate that to a seller. And don't be scared, because they're hiring you for the reason of selling their home, and they're paying you a lot of money as well. And I think we owe it to them.
In negotiations with them, because that means you're gonna be in negotiations with the person you're selling the house to.
That's right. That's right. Interestingly enough, like the last 3 sellers we've met, they've said, Zach, we do not want to overprice. And I said, my gosh, thank you. Thank you. We want to be really clear where the market is, and we're going to study it together. We're going to look at data, and I'm going to use my experience and knowledge and expertise to help guide accordingly and help you price it, such that I'm telling our clients we're winning right now if we're getting a contract in the first 30 days. And I think that's effective. That's right.
Big win right now, 30 days.
I think it's a great win. Yeah, and then there are 30, 40 days of escrow. And that's when you have like a 60, 65-day sales cycle. And that's what I want to see right now.
70-30.
Oh, thanks. Number 4. 70-30. This applies to single agents, agents with teams, groups, it doesn't matter. Is 70% on production and 30% on leading your organization. It's getting clear on working in the business and working on the business. They both coexist together. Jeff's rule, focus 70% on production, 30% on the business. Number 5, role play and skill development. Top agents do this consistently every single day as they role play and skill development. Learning your dialogues, your scripts, how you're communicating with others, and helping people self-discover why they are choosing to sell their home or buy a home. And that's a skill, especially right now. It's a skill to be developed. Number 6, mindset and energy management. Jeff does a really good job, and I probably need to do this more, is he'll take mindset breaks. He'll work for 50 minutes, take a 10, 15-minute mindset break. Am I saying that correctly? Mm-hmm. Pretty close?
Yeah.
Okay. because Jeff's not here, and I'm like sharing back what I've heard, is taking those breaks to really gather your thoughts, because it can get burned out. If you're on the call, if you're making calls for like 2-3 hours, you gotta take a break. You gotta take a breather, have some food, take a walk. So taking mindset and energy management, therefore taking breaks consistently. And number 7, strategic growth and vision. How are you growing? What is the vision for your life, for your business? Bold coming up is a prime example of integrating growth and vision into your world, into your business. All right, so that is 7 things top agents do consistently every single day. All right, I'm going to share next the listing skills required, and then you want to wrap up with the calendar?
12 minutes.
I'll go fast. Okay, I'm going to go really fast. I'm telling you guys, it's really good. And this was like 3.5 days. And I think this is really important now. So I'm going to go over the listing skills required to win business. Is that fair? Okay. The ability to identify a seller's communication style and adapt. The ability to understand the seller's communication style and adapt. And what that means to me and what it leans into is the DISC profile. You're either a D, you're an I, you're an S, or a C. Every single person is. That's how behaviorally we've been created. D, and this is not a DISC class. Who's familiar with that acronym of what DISC is? Okay, a handful, right? Each person communicates and behaves differently. Someone's going to be a D, an I, or an S, or a C. It's up to you to determine that and be able to adapt your communication style such that they can hear you and understand. Number 2, value and look forward to rejection. Value and look forward to rejection equals feedback to get better. We're all going to fail. We're all going to be told no. We're going to have a seller that doesn't like us, that you don't connect with, or a buyer. And the value and to create a relationship with feedback and creating a relationship with rejection and knowing it's okay. Use AI to stay in conversation even when physically unavailable. Number 3, use AI to stay in conversation even when physically unavailable. Number 4, approach every day as if it were a job interview. I think we can all relate to that. As each day we wake up unemployed, and that's why we're prospecting, is we're doing our best to generate brand new business. So having the mindset of, hey, today I'm unemployed, who can I find to go and serve and to help? Number 5, no followers on social media are no different than the contacts in your database. No followers on social media are no different than the contacts in your database. Using the contacts that you have in your social media via Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and treating them as if they're part of your database. I think that's very smart. Because we have so many friends on Facebook so often that we probably don't even talk to. Yet what if we did? What if we behaved like that? What if we checked in and DM'd? And I say that for myself. Articulate exactly how they will use social media to market the listing and involve the seller in social media marketing. We haven't done this, and I think it would be really great to do this. Yet Jeff's approach, and some of you may have done this, Jeff's approach, he's a storyteller, and I think I can be a pretty good storyteller also when I do it, is using social media to connect with others and involving your seller client, such as when you're at the appointment, when you're wrapping up, this is Jeff's suggestion, is like, hey, can we take a quick selfie together? And he said, I know that sounds kind of weird, yet we're getting really great feedback on sharing the story of why you're selling your home. He'll ask them 4 or 5 questions about what's special to them, what they've enjoyed about living here, what's connected them to their home. He'll post that. He'll create a story and a narrative, and it connects with other human beings. And he's able to drive traffic before the home's listed. So that's a great strategy to articulate exactly how you're going to use social media to market the listing and involve the seller in marketing.
And the most important that Jeff's research has shown is that he tags those clients in that post
As a collaborator.
as a
Yeah.
collaborator or as a friend, and the location as well. And that whole sphere of the clients, friends, family, people that they know, work with, and then along with the location, somehow that
It
algorithm.
drives mega traffic, and it connects. I think people are our feelings. It's emotional. It's like why do I want to move into this community, this neighborhood? What did they enjoy? And I think it could be very powerful and very, very effective. That's something we should do soon. And I invite all of you to do it soon too.
That's really good.
I think it's smart.
So
And it connects. It just creates a team.
The way a lot of that works is, like, let's say Houston, for example. Like, if you tag, like, Houston on there or something, so all of that stuff, like, anything that has Houston in, like, the name of it will actually latch on to that post, and everybody that's in one of those groups or anything will be able to see that post just because you put Houston there.
Right.
And then what if you attach a seller to it?
Yeah,
And
if
share
you
their
attach the
story.
seller's name too and their story, it becomes very powerful.
I think
because
so.
people love. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Exactly. Exactly. So-
I have found that to be helpful, that people see who I'm helping and they're like, if they helped my friend, they can help me. So
Exactly.
Right.
That's a good thing on that.
Yeah. And so many people, like, we see it at closing, right? Like, it's been such an honor to help and serve you, Joe. It's been fantastic. Yeah, what if we start at the very beginning of the very beginning of the relationship? So I think there's specialness there that we can all learn from and implement. All right, it's a big one. Number 7, the ability to be direct and double down on questions if the customer is not clear. The ability to be direct. If you started in this business in 2020, 2021, 2022, maybe 2023, it's much easier to sell a house than it is today. And I don't think there's enough agents that have enough courage to be honest with their clients right now. And they're going to tell them what they think they want to hear and not what they need to hear. And so developing the ability to be direct and double down on questions if they're not clear. Get clear on what happens if you don't sell. What does that look like? What happens? Hold every listing accountable to 2 transactions. And again, the title of this is Listing Skills Required to Win Business. Holding every listing accountable to 2 transactions. So when you take a listing, your goal is to generate 2 additional pieces of business. I don't care if it's a buyer business or seller business, yet it's holding every listing accountable for 2 additional transactions.
And that's asking for the referral too from the client. Like, who do you know? And it's not all at I guess it would be the milestones throughout the transaction. Like, you pass through due diligence, you're asking for a referral and a review. And that's another way to get one more piece of business from their sphere. Again, like Michelle said, oh, if they're working with this lady, this guy, then I'm interested in selling, or I want to buy your house, and making that connection and giving the referral to the agent.
And that's one strategy. There's many, many strategies
Yeah,
available.
open houses, door knocking around it, circle prospecting.
Neighborhood open houses for neighbors only was a big topic of conversation as well. And that requires a lot of effort and a lot of work. Those of you who have not door knocked, it's a big boy job, and it takes time. It does. It's a lot. Yet, if you're gonna be committed to holding your listing accountable to 2 additional transactions, that is a way to generate.
And how many times do y'all look at a property you just sold? Down the road, there's a new.
Every time.
Almost every time.
Just the other day, right? Like 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later,
crazy.
Smoker Eyes. We just sold a home it's closing Friday, and a neighbor just listed. I was like, Zach, go door knock. Go do this. Go introduce myself. Go share the good news. Because then you're coming from value and saying, hey, we had X amount of showings. We had X amount of offers. We have people who want to be in your neighborhood. Clearly, have you considered making a move? If I had done that, I probably would have been able to help that seller. Because they just listed 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It's okay. They treat their database as a lead source, not a storage unit. Treat your database as a lead source and not a storage unit. Number 10, discipline to keep Number 10, discipline to keep following up even when they don't get back. The discipline to keep following up even when they don't get back. We create delusion in our mind and we think, oh, they don't want to talk to me. They're talking to somebody else. They're busy. They're that. We don't want to bother them. And again, I think it's a delusion we create because they haven't shared that to us. Life happens. And I think we owe it to ourselves to continue to follow up until you gain clarity if they have a need that we can serve them on. Does that make sense? Okay. Number 11, price properly and articulating it to the client. Pricing properly and articulating it to the client. Tell the seller the truth even when it hurts. Number 12, tell the seller the truth even when it hurts. Number 13, asking for a reduction every 14 days. And what Jeff suggested is always do it on a Friday. Don't do it on a Monday. Do it at the end of the week. Buyers are out and about Saturdays and Sundays. They're off of work typically. Utilize the Fridays, not a Monday, for a price adjustment.
And Fridays, it's the weekend, so people are generally more happy
That's true.
and in better moods.
That's true. It's Friday. Yeah.
Looking forward to
The weekend.
not working.
Chill. Go to a birthday party. Yeah. I think it's a great point. Yeah. As Winnie shared too, is knowing and understand and utilizing the honeymoon period. Honeymoon period. They're excited because you just received an offer, you just went under contract, you just finished due diligence, have a satisfactory appraisal come in, we got the clear to close from the lender, you're at closing. There's a handful of honeymoon periods that I just shared that we can capitalize on. Have 2 or 3 answers for every objection. 2 or 3 answers for every objection received from a seller or buyer. And I was taught this many years ago. An objection is simply an unanswered question. An objection means they're interested. An objection means they want to know more about it. They might have some fear, some reservation. And we have, when we're strong enough, have enough courage, we can help overcome their objection by answering their question. Understand the value to customer and don't need to reduce their fees to get a listing. Understand your value to the customer and you don't need to reduce their fees to get a listing. And number 17, last one, operating from a business plan instead of your own personality. Operating from a plan and not from your own personality. Any questions? You want to run through a daily schedule? Do we have 1 minute? Yes. Just one? It's not going to take long. All right. This is going to tie in everything, right? Of like, hey, what can I do day to day? Well, this is it. This is what it looks like. All right.
Go for it.
No, you go for it. You got it.
Okay, so there's 11 daily tasks for the modern agent that Jeff shared. I'm going to run through these quickly because it is 12. Number 1, spend 15 minutes in mindset daily. 45 minutes of exercise daily, 15 minutes of prospecting prep. And sometimes he's even shared, do this the night before so that you already know who you're calling the next day and you're not wasting time. Yet he gives you 15 minutes that morning to figure it out. 30 minutes of skill building, so that may look like script and role play. 2 hours of outbound prospecting daily. 45 minutes of the follow-up and returning calls. 30 minutes of capturing footage. So he's super into social media, AI. He's posting videos. So you're committing 30 minutes daily to videos or at your listings and taking videos there and marketing that. 30 minutes of writing copy. So again, the scripts that he has for his videos and his social media.
And post. Yeah.
And post. 30 minutes of administering content, so planning it out and posting it, and then 90 minutes of showtime daily.
What does 90 minutes of Showtime daily mean? Appointments.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you don't have an appointment, what do you do? Yeah, prospect. I like it. You can role play. You can work on skills. No, I think that's valuable. Working on skills, or you continue to earn the right to go generate that lead and you prospect.
And the last one, which I think is the most important, being in operations, 90 minutes of admin work. So Zach will commit to doing the things that I need in order to do my job, which is a challenge.
That's true.
I don't think it's 90 minutes that he spends daily doing it.
No. Yeah, it's true though. Yeah. Those high I's or high D's, you can relate to that too. Yeah. We move fast. Was this of value?
Yes, this is great.
Good. Good. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you for coming back.
You're welcome. Yeah, grateful to be here.